Today I'm here with Annie Stewart, the director of Team of the Century, a feature-length documentary that's playing at the Forest City Film Festival this year, which is about the 2005 Memorial Cup winning London Knights team. Let's take a first exclusive look.
Ready to go?
Batted in by David Bolin.
It's home.
40 years for this. Your team is about to win its first Memorial Cup.
They won, and they won, and they won, and they won, and it just kept going.
You know what your abilities are, and you have an opportunity to show them.
They're unbeaten in 30 games.
Where, let's say we're down 4-1 going into the third. They still think they can win.
We had a tough first game against Rimouski, but we potentially could have went undefeated that year.
But they were living out their dream at 16.
That was the only shift I was allowed to play against Sidney Crosby. There's always going to be that bond, so it's it's definitely a special group.
You're right there. Go win this fight for us. Okay?
So Annie, tell me, what was the first thought that came into your mind to do this documentary?
We were on our way to Danny Sivret's U16 AAA team. I did their media and Paul does their broadcasts. And I had to do this school project. It was like our big final school project. Paul said, let's talk to Danny. Maybe we can do something on their 2005 team. And so we talked to him about it and he was fully on board. And yeah, my initial thoughts was, this is crazy. Like I didn't see this happening, especially for school, and then it getting picked up to become a feature-length documentary. It was super exciting, and I can't wait to share it with everybody.
That's great. And what was the first interview that you did for this entire documentary?
Oh man, the first interview, actually, funny enough, was Corey Perry. We kicked it off on a high note. We interviewed him at the Canada Life Place back in March during their 2005 Union game. We spoke with him for about 20 minutes, and at that point, it was close to doors open. So we were like, okay, we got to take down, we got to get ready. Definitely a high note to start on, but yeah, he was great.
This entire story about the 2005 Knights is a fantastic story. What is the mini story in between this bigger story that is the one that you're really excited for people to see?
Of course, that 2005 Knights season is something that definitely went down into the London Knights history of sports. I think it's become a really large part of London's identity. Since then, the Knights have won more Memorial Cups since then, the most recent one being the 2025 one, which was super exciting. And that kind of made this documentary important because we were kind of filming this live as it was happening. I think it's really important to share that 2005 was the first one that London brought home. I want people to kind of walk away happy, nostalgic, kind of bringing back those memories and also having the newer generation relate to that iconic season.
Well, you heard it here first. This is Annie Stewart, the director of Team of the Century, the feature-length documentary about the 2005 Memorial Cup winning London Knights team that is playing this year at the Forest City Film Festival. Welcome back. We're now here with Paul Culliton, the producer of Team of the Century, the London Knights documentary about the 2005 Memorial Cup winning team. Paul, first question to start it off. How and when did you meet Annie Stewart, the director of Team of the Century?
That's a good one. Well, actually, it started out quite simple. I produce a hockey broadcast for U16 for Rogers TV here in London, and we needed to get student volunteers to help shoot the broadcast. She was a little perplexed because she was like, oh, what should I do for my final project? Should I do an internship or should I do capstone? And I said, well, you realize that you're sitting on a gold mine right now with Danny Sivret as the coach of the U16 Knights, because he was the captain of the Team of the Century in '05. And he, on our behalf, went to the Hunter Brothers and the London Knights. It was like the perfect storm because the interviews and the footage started to become available. And at that point, we said, what do you think about this as a feature-length documentary? Because there's just this great story there. And that's where it went.
And you talk about this being a great story, and it is for all Londoners and a lot of people that are fans of these players that have grown up to play in the NHL and potentially a few Hall of Famers. Why did it take 20 years for this story to be told?
That's a very good question. The only explanation I have is that, it's like anything else, is most hockey people live in the here and now. There's an entire generation that's been born since that time. And then there's the generation that was there that they actually watched it happen. And it was an amazing season. They started off with a 31 game streak, which is unheard of. It had never been done before. Most people think it will never be done again. The team had a 120-point season. They broke a record for the regular season standings. And then they had this incredible run in the playoffs where they just rolled over the other team. And then into the Memorial Cup, they went up against a team from Rimouski with the future Hall of Famer by the name of Sidney Crosby. So it was a story that needed to be told and had to be told. And we were glad to tell it.
That's so exciting. And question we've been asking is, when people come to the Forest City Film Festival to see this film, what do you hope they walk away with feeling from Team of the Century?
There's two experiences that we hope to convey throughout the film. And that is for the people that were there to relive that incredible season with the team. And I think the play-by-play footage that we have from this season was spectacular. I find myself falling back between tears and goosebumps. And when I'm watching, it's just like, wow, was this team ever good?
Paul, thank you so much. The Forest City Film Festival is very excited to be playing the Team of the Century this year, a record-breaking 4 times at our 10th edition film festival this year. Londoners, film enthusiasts, and London Knights fans in particular, I think are going to be very excited to pack these theaters in October and November of this year and see this awesome feature-length documentary.